Trembling with fear in the corner of his kennel, time was almost up for Miniman. He was only 8 months old when we found him at a high-intake shelter in South Florida. Shortly after meeting him, we realized that not only was this sweet boy terrified, he was in excruciating pain. In that moment, we knew that we had to do everything possible to save his innocent life. Upon arriving at our shelter, our veterinarian diagnosed him with severe hip dysplasia. With this news, we knew that Minnie's only hope of living a life free from pain would require a special surgery and an extensive physical rehabilitation program. It took an entire community, countless hours of hard work, love, and compassion, but together, we were able to save this beloved boy's life.
Nash had been abandoned on the side of the road. Curled up inside a plastic tote, he was so weak that he didn't have the strength to stand up on his own. When Nash arrived at the shelter, a positive parvovirus test result confirmed one of our worst fears. Our medical team began doing everything possible to save this sweet pup's life. After a week of IV fluids, medications, and love from our staff, that spark in Nash's eyes had finally returned. We knew he was going to survive. After recovering in the comfort of a foster home, Nash was adopted and has been thriving in a loving home ever since.
Valentine was found scared and limping along the side of a county road. She was disoriented after being hit by a car. Her front leg was badly injured, and this sweet, loving cat was in need of critical care. When Valentine came into our clinic, the medical team assessed her injuries and determined that her front leg was too severely damaged. In order to save her life, an amputation was required. It didn't take long for this resilient girl to adjust after her surgery. Her affectionate demeanor never left, and she was quickly adopted into a loving home. Fortunately for Valentine, her story has a happy ending. The reality is that we have hundreds of cats and kittens that come into our care every year. Happy endings like Valentine's are only made possible because of your support.
When Bug arrived at our shelter as a stray, he was in agonizing pain due to a severely broken femur. After discovering that amputation was not an option, one of our veterinarians began advocating to save Bug's life. Her search paid off. A compassionate surgeon offered to perform the complicated surgery at a reduced cost. It didn't take long before Bug would meet his new lifelong companion. Carol had recently suffered the loss of her beloved husband and her 15-year-old dog. With all her heart, she believed that rescuing a shelter dog would help her heal. Within moments of meeting at the shelter, Bug crawled right up into Carol's lap, and she immediately knew he was the one. The first night they spent together, Carol's heart began to feel full again, and they have continued to lift each other up ever since. Your support and generosity make it possible for stories like these to happen every day at the Humane Society of Vero Beach and Indian River County. On behalf of us here at the shelter, both two-legged and four-legged, thank you for your continued support.